So, in my humblest opinion, I thought here was absolutely fantastic. It was visually striking, the way that everything seamlessly blended together, the way that the scenes were cut and collaged together. I mean, it was just phenomenal, right? And I mean, I gotta say, for Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, coming together like they did from Forrest Gump with Robert Zemeckis back in the director's chair, the director of Forrest Gump and fucking Back to the Future. I mean, this guy really knew how to just give us something different. I mean, it was just absolutely cool. Like, just so cool, right? So the whole story follows multiple families, living in the same home, in the same location throughout, just life from the beginning, from the dawn of time till the main characters, when they're old, old and gray. And it is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I loved it. It was sad. It was funny. It was just good, right? And I was very curious when I first saw the trailer because it was saying how it was just going to take place in this one shot. And I know that as of late, some of the movies that we've had have had those continuous shots, right? Where the camera just literally follows characters in one long continuous shot, or it's a long shot with multiple characters doing different things. Very Wes Anderson or 1917, stuff like that. And this was just a whole new medium, a whole new level of filmmaking. I mean, it was just so much fun. The fact that the film starts out in the Cretaceous period with like the dinosaurs and shit in the same spot, it was just phenomenal, right? And then it leads up to like the Native Americans, leads into the slavery and colonization, and then leading up into like the 30s and 40s of actually building the house and the first people that moved into the house. It was just awesome. Apparently, like the lazy boy was created in that house from this inventor and his wife. I mean, it was just hilarious. It was so awesome. I really genuinely enjoyed it. But so the film mostly follows Paul Bettany, right? You may know him as Vision, and his wife Rose, played by the beautiful Kelly Riley, and them, raising their family in this house. And, Tom Hanks is their son, Richard, and they have a daughter, and pretty much, it's just what they go through and in their life of just living in this house. And then there's then there's the inventor and his wife, right? Like, and they're creating the lazy boy. What did he call it? The recliner boy, or he called it like the sleepy boy, or he called it something funny. And then when he sold his product of the chair, it was able to recline and had a footrest and everything. Then they end up calling the company ends up calling it the lazy boy, right? There's this random black family that lives in the house later, like in more modern times. Like one of the last people to live in the house is like this random black family that was pretty random. And like the boy gets like arrested, and I guess the black guys like try to teach him how to talk to the cops. It was super weird. But mainly the fact, and they're like, there's this Indian guy and his wife, and shows their little spint in life of, her getting pregnant and having a family. And it's like, it mirrors when, the main family has their kids later in life. And it's just so cool. Like the fact that it all takes place in the living room, is just really something. It is interesting. I could see how people would think it's boring, or it lacks, other styles of scenes, or it lacks other scenery, but for what it is, it's a very, very cool idea, right? I mean, we have that new movie coming out called Presence, right, where it's filmed from the perspective of a ghost, but you don't see the ghost, so the ghost is like haunting the house, and it's from the perspective of that ghost. So that seems like it's weird, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure like as of late we're gonna have, or in the new years to come, we're gonna have a lot of different styles of filmmaking, right? You had In a Violent Nature, right, with that horror movie from last year where it was just filmed from the third person perspective of the killer, like just following the killer walking around. So, there's a lot of different aspects in filmmaking that people are going to come up with or invent. And I definitely think this will definitely go down as one of the most innovative styles of storytelling, and for the most part, like I said, it was kind of a sad movie towards the end. And, with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright being Forrest Gump and Jenny, I mean, man, Tom Hanks can't not be in the movies with this woman and find love. It just never works. This woman and him will be in love 1 minute, next minute they'll be at each other's throats, not together anymore. And it's like, Robert Zemeckis is like, you know what? I'm just not going to let you guys have a happy ending. And yeah, like even though it was cool to see Tom and Robin on the big screen again together, this whole de-aging thing is just it's just getting so out of hand. It was a little weird at times, and it was funny that I think they're the only ones in the movie that are de-aged, so that you could follow their characters growing up, quote unquote, throughout the story. Because Paul Bettany and Kelly Riley, I don't think they were de-aged. I think they just had makeup. I think Paul Bettany is like a young enough actor to play like a young man and a dad and a grandfather, and Kelly Riley, I think she's a bit older, but she's gorgeous to the point where enough makeup and or enough like stuff, to help her look younger or older. I think that she wouldn't need de-aging, but it was odd. And if there's one thing de-aging just hasn't gotten right, it's the voices of like the actors themselves who aren't obviously as young as the characters that they're portraying. So you have like Tom Hanks sounding like an old man Tom Hanks, his voice coming out of this 21-year-old's body that looks like a young Tom Hanks. It's just so weird. It was so funny at times, but I mean, it was good. Like I said, in the context of the story, it was good. It was funny. It was enjoyable to kind of watch at times, but it just helped elevate the emotion through the story because, like I said, you watch them grow up, and so I mean, it was kind of nice. And even though the movie ends on kind of a happy note, like a bittersweet note, it's not like a happy ending, by any means. But I do like at the end when they actually rotate around the living room and actually show you like the kitchen, right? And the dining table, which is actually the dining room, which is actually huge because you don't know what it looks like throughout the film. And when you see it at the end, you're like, wow, it's actually a very spacious dining room, kitchen, living room area. And then it zooms out of the house and it shows you what the full house looks like. And you're like, wow, this is like a beautiful 2-story mini like mansion. Like, wow, this is beautiful. But it's just the ending really made it, in my opinion, I really loved the ending. It was just well done. I mean, congratulations, Robert. Like, I thought it was a fantastic movie, fantastic, just new way of filmmaking or a new idea and concept in and for filmmakers and, potential filmmakers. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I definitely suggest y'all should watch it. It's a perfect date movie, I would say, and it's definitely a fun movie, maybe to show like, the grandparents and stuff, just of showing like how, things happened in this house, like my house that I live in. Like other people lived here before, other people lived here before then when the house was first built. What was here before that? What was here, 100 years before then? What was going on in this exact spot where I'm sitting right now? So it's pretty cool. It was a very awesome concept, very well executed. And yeah, I think everyone should watch it. I think you guys would really like it. But yeah, this has been Ghost on the Craig. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, you are here, right where you need to be.